Hello everyone, my name is Shreya and I'm a legal intern at Lexis and Company. I am pursuing BLLB honors from Law College, Dehradun, Uttaranchal University. I am currently in 7th semester and I'm very glad to be having this opportunity of interning at Lexis and Company, because of which I am able to present to you guys with this video. So the purpose and topic for this video will be, I'll explain to you guys the ceremonies of Hindu marriage. So the ceremonies of Hindu marriage are given under section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act. It specifies about two conditions in its clause 1 and 2. So the first clause of this section 7 states that a Hindu marriage may be solemnized in accordance with the customary rites and ceremonies of the either party to the marriage. And the second says that where such um, where if I am to quote that clause, it says that where such rites and ceremonies includes the saptapadi, that is the taking of the 7 steps by the bridegroom and the bride jointly before the sacred fire. Thus the marriage is complete and binding when the 7th step is taken. So here it presents about these two main conditions for a marriage to be valid under the Hindu Marriage Act. Before the codification of this act, there was a rule that the Hindu marriage should be solemnized according to the Shastric or the customary rites. But after the codification of this law, um, and it also says that if such necessary ceremonies are not performed, such marriage will be regarded as invalid. And after this act was contemplated, was drafted, the Hindu marriage according to this act um, says that the Hindu marriage will be based upon those ceremonial rites and various other ceremonies which used to be which were practiced in the earlier times. Also in these days also, the marriage will be based upon those rites and ceremonies. So the Hindu marriage contemplated by this act is a ceremonial marriage, and it must be solemnized in accordance with the customary rites and ceremonies of one of the parties to the marriage. And yeah, this is it. And if we speak about the word solemnized used in this clause, is that it means to celebrate the marriage with proper ceremonies and in due form. You have to fulfill all the essential conditions of marriage regarding its rites and rituals and the ceremonies. Ceremonies means specifically the necessary ceremonies, not that you will just practice some of the ceremonies and say that okay, we have the intention of performing this marriage by doing this and this ceremony. Your marriage will not be valid if you perform all the necessary ceremonies which are to be performed as an essential requirement of the Hindu marriage according to your religion, according to your rituals and customs. Unless the marriage is celebrated or performed with proper ceremonies which are due for it, which are necessary for it, it cannot be said to be solemnized. It means that proper ceremonies should be performed in order to make it a valid marriage. Merely going through certain ceremonies with the intention that the parties are taken to be married will not make them ceremonies, will not make them the ceremonies as are prescribed by the law or approved by any established customs. It will not be according to what you perform, it will be according to what the law and the established custom says. So if there is non-observance of these essential ceremonies, under this act, there will be no marriage at all. Your marriage will not be considered as a valid marriage. What actually amounts to these customary rites and mandatory ceremonies, it is not clear. For example, on one hand, the law says that the necessary ceremonies include the saptapadi, and on the other hand, the law says that it is not. So we can say that the law that the law recognized in Hindu society does not make saptapadi an indispensable custom in every incident of marriage. There may be some cases in the Hindu sects that which does not make saptapadi as an essential condition to the Hindu marriage. However, in almost all the sects, saptapadi is a compulsory step to make a marriage valid. The court also further says that what is required is substantial compliance only with those rites and rituals, the performance of which is by the customary law of the either party peculiar to it and is deemed to be absolutely necessary. To again mention it, you should not forget this word, absolutely necessary. And the non-performance of such rites and ceremonies of prime necessity would be regarded as a failure to solemnize the marriage, and no valid marriage will be a result. Therefore, you have to perform these ceremonies. So, for example, if we speak of Kanyadan is an essential ceremony in most of the Hindu sects. However, its absence may not invalidate a marriage, as said in the case of Ramlal Agarwal versus Shanta Devi. So this case does not make Kanyadan an essential practice of the Hindu marriage. So this was all about the ceremonies of Hindu marriage. I hope you get it, and if you have any question, do ask me and share your feedback, and do not forget to like and share this video as much as you can. So thank you so much everyone for watching.